Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So, back from Vegas and wanted to do a 1-week review of the Canon SX50 since I had it with me in Vegas and I shot quite a bit with it. Didn't actually get a chance to go out to the canyon and out to the dam as I was planning because after seeing what the traffic was like in Vegas, I didn't want to take a rental car by myself. Call me a sissy, whatever. You should see Vegas driving downtown. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, I got a lot of great photos. I went for some good photo walks. Quite a few hours logged on the camera. And overall, I'm very impressed. It's a very nice camera. Size and weight worked great for a carry-around camera. Have around your neck for hours at a time wasn't really an issue at all. The focusing was really good. Locked on well, and when it did lock, it was accurate. The odd time it didn't lock, especially if I was on the the long end of the zoom, which would be your 1200 millimeter equivalent, and that's understandable. I think at that type of range, probably any camera occasionally is going to miss, but for the most part, it was really good. Now, I didn't do a lot of dark night shooting with it. I was out in the daylight, so that factors in too. But overall, very happy with the focusing of the camera. The couple of negatives, if you want to say negatives, are not so great. Battery life could be a little better. On the other hand, it does take a small battery that helps keep the weight down, and you can get them online for really cheap. So I almost can't fault it for that. However, it would be nice if it did get a little more juice out of the battery. The viewfinder, the electronic viewfinder on here is nothing to write home about. It's passable and barely. Certainly not like the ones you would see in the newer Sony cameras or in even the Panasonic GH2, and certainly not the GH3 or even the Olympus cameras like the EPL5 or the new OMD. So yeah, not the greatest viewfinder, but you know what? The LCD, the vari-angle LCD works very well. It's very nice, and the viewfinder works good enough to take a shot. I wouldn't be evaluating much more than that with it. I'm relying on the camera to confirm focus more than I am the viewfinder in this situation. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about with the camera? Another negative, if I'm going to call it that, sometimes when you're zooming, it's a little finicky on the rocker dial from wide to telephoto. Sometimes it's hard to get it at that exact precise zoom range that you want. For instance, if you're using something, a long lens on a DSLR, and you turn it, you can get it right on. The rocker dial, with this being electronic on here, similar to using anything that's got an electronic zoom on it, it's a little finicky, and it's sometimes hard to get it right where you want it. Now I haven't dug too far into the manual. I don't know, maybe there's a little bit more finesse setting I can play with on that, or maybe there's a way to hit it manually. I didn't see that when I was using it, and it was at times a little bit annoying, but for the most part it worked very well. The zoom was good. Really nice to have the 1200 millimeter zoom. I don't think, guys, unless you've picked up something like this that has the equivalent of a 1200 millimeter zoom, that you really have an appreciation for how long 1200 millimeters is. That is going to bring into focus, like, it's just amazing. I've never had anything with that kind of reach before, so this camera is really cool in that sense. At the wide end, 24, decent as well. I had no problems there. There was very few times when I wished I had something wider. So overall, great walk around camera when we're looking at the zoom length, 24 to 1200. You can't beat it for that. Initial looks at image quality are excellent. I shot everything in RAW, looked at it all and processed in Lightroom, and the image quality looks great out of this camera. The other thing is that because you can shoot in RAW, you've got some room for some manipulations and corrections without the degradation that you're going to see in JPEGs. I will say that the exposure was pretty bang on. I pretty much shot this thing as a tourist in program mode, P mode. And that was great. Most of my shots looked really good. I was going through them. I really liked them. We got a couple up here on the monitors back here. I'm going to be posting a separate slideshow that I'm going to narrate of the shots from Vegas, so you can have a look and see for yourself. I'll also post some links to where the photos are up on Google+. So yeah, all in all, I like the camera. I'm keeping it. It seems to do a really good job. high ISO, from what I can tell, looks quite good. I'm pleased with it. The raw image quality, again, looks really good. These are things I'm going to look at in a little more detail as the weeks go on, but at the moment, it's a keeper. You know what? This camera would be a keeper for me anyway, simply because of the zoom range, and it's a great walk-around camera if you're out, especially if you're not using any night stuff. Then it's a no-brainer, because in daylight hours, it's the perfect tourist camera. It's the perfect walk-around camera. 24 to 1200 millimeters. The way I was shooting, walking around as a tourist and just taking photos of what was going on, I didn't miss a DSLR at all. In fact, I loved this thing. So really, really nice camera. I would highly recommend it. Anybody looking for a super zoom or walk around tourist camera, I think you should have a serious look at the SX50. So that's my 1 week review, kind of summary of how I felt about the camera. Stay tuned. Probably 1 month we'll do a review again. See if anything else crops up after I've had further chance to evaluate things like high ISO and the raw image quality and things like that. As I said, at the moment, I'm pleased with them. And just when I've had a chance to do more shooting in more different environments. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with some new articles, some new video posts, and we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot.